If you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, please drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel with your bell notifications turned on. Now let's get into the video. Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are back with another player review. Today we have the new 83 rated informed Danny Ings. So this card looks, there's some good things about this card, but there's some questionable things about this card. So let's just break down his actual attributes before we actually get into speaking about his card. So he's 80 pace, broken down to 82 and 78 acceleration and sprint speed. His shooting, obviously being a striker and being one of the most informed strikers in the league, is very nice. 86 positioning, 88 finishing, 82 shot power, 81 long shots, and 82 pens. Passing isn't that great, even his short pass is a little sus. It's 78 short pass. Apart from that, there's nothing really too much home to write about. His dribbling is 81, broken down to 79 agility, 80 balance, 85 reactions, 81 ball control, 82 dribbling. So very balanced dribbling, you could say. Defending, not really much to talk about. Physicality, 72 at 82 jumping, and 73 stamina. Alright, so how is this card actually in game? So the best way I can describe this card is he's good if you know what you're buying him for. If you want, obviously, someone to, you know, do quick 1-2s, do a quick, you know, get behind the defense at pace. If you want him to make intricate passes, yep, that's a big word, towards the wingers, maybe back to the cams while they're through on goal, he's not really used for that. So what he is good at doing is obviously scoring. I'll give you a 5 if you could have guessed that that's what he's great at. But when I say he's good at scoring, I mean he is incredible at scoring. 88 finishing with 82 shot power. If he gets it on target, 9 times out of 10 it is going in, obviously, provided you don't have all black in goals, because Jesus Christ, all black. But yeah, if you have him on, for example, so we'll get into team instructions just for now, just because there's one I think that's really important, and that's getting behind, which you probably have on your strikers quite often, except if you have Kane. But if he's on getting behind, it's the whole thing of once you line it up on his right foot, even if you're like outside the box and hitting it at an angle, 9 times out of 10 it is going in, because he's such a clinical finisher of the ball. Where this card is best at is, say you're playing wingers, and obviously the wingers are just bombing up the field, and then they cut back towards the striker. So obviously Danny Ings isn't really going to be making runs himself, but if you let the wingers, or the cams, or the centre mids do the run-in for him, and then you cut back, or you feed him in with a nice through ball, that's where this card is really clinical. Even with his 4-star weak foot as well, scoring with his left foot is really easy to do. There's one iffy thing I will say about this card at the moment, and that is his work rate. He has a high defensive work rate. Now that does kind of help in a way of, because he's coming back on defense, that then gives him time to run up the field, but not too much run up the field. So it's kind of hard to explain without actually doing it in-game. So say you're on defending, and then you have your 2 wingers up the field ready to make a run. So while they're running up, Danny Ings is while they're like probably, you know, 2/3 up the way up the field, Danny Ings is probably on the halfway line. So then obviously once you cut back to him, once you're in the box, he's right on the edge of the box, ready for an absolute bomb of a shot. That's where this card absolutely shines. If you're looking for someone to actually make runs himself, obviously you know this card isn't really going to be good for doing that. Now, is there any actual weaknesses to this card? Obviously his passing. This guy isn't Kane. He's not going to be, you know, getting assists isn't really his strong suit. Not even getting assists. Doing 1-2s can sometimes be a bit of an iffy thing. It's just his passing can be very questionable at best. Like 78 short pass, you see it and you're like, okay, that's not too bad. But it's also, it's not tremendously good, if that makes sense. Obviously, him and Kane, 2 different strikers, but they do play in the same position, so you do kind of have to compare them. But obviously just keep in mind that if you were looking to do 1-2s or maybe do a through ball towards your cam or your wingers, you might have a bit of trouble with this card. Now, as I said, he does have a high defensive work rate. Now, depending on how you play, obviously if you have your wingers do your running for him, it's not seen as a weakness, but obviously it can be seen as a weakness depending on how you play. So just keep that work rate in mind before you buy this card. Alright, now in terms of the Chem Style, so there's really only one Chem Style I can think of, or maybe, well, there's 2 I can actually recommend. One is obviously the big one, and that's Hunter, so that increases his pace up to 90, and increases his shooting, so increases his finishing up to 98, his shot power up to 87, his positioning up to 91, so obviously him cutting, as I said with the wingers, running up the field and then cutting back to him, that really helps with his positioning. And of course, if you need a penalty taker, obviously that increases it up to 87. But there's also another Chem Style I would kind of recommend, and that's Engine. So that increased his pace up a little bit, increased his short pass as well, so obviously if you need more passing, that's obviously good for him. And then increased his dribbling and balance up to a 92 and a 90. So maybe Engine might be the one for you, maybe Hunter. I'd say Engine if you're looking for more of a one to control the game with him, if that makes sense. But obviously Hunter, if you want him to make runs through the defense and then get a lovely shot on goal, Hunter is obviously the one for you. Now, onto the actual grade. So, do I recommend this card? So, the issue I have with this card is obviously he's a tremendous goal scorer, but it's kind of difficult to recommend this card when there's cards like Rodrigo in the game. So his rare gold card is 5,800 coins. Obviously, I don't think he's as good as this Danny Ings, but if you check a Hunter on him, he's faster, the finishing is about the same, the shot power is about the same, the volleys I think are the same, and the pens are just a little bit less. His passing is better than Danny Ings, his dribbling is about the same. So yeah, it's a tricky one to recommend, I'll be brutally honest, just because you have Rodrigo in the game, who I think, personally, I find is a better card. Obviously, he has one less weak foot, but he does have that medium defensive work rate. So yeah, in terms of me actually using him, I find him a very fun card to use if you know what you're getting into. But in terms of recommending him competitively, I really can't do that, just because of there's cards like Rodrigo in the game, there's strikers in the league that are faster, more clinical, and probably for cheaper, I'm not even gonna lie. So guys, that's my review of Danny Ings. So, just to sum up, great card, but I think just because he's an inform, that price will keep him from being used by a lot of people. Obviously, if you're a fan of Sunderland, fan of Danny Ings, you will want to use him. But as someone who's just looking for a striker in the Premier League, I think there's better, cheaper options, unfortunately. So guys, that's it for my review. If you guys have enjoyed, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new around here. So until later, take care, love you all, and peace.